afternoon. Greetings, everyone. I want to welcome you all to Prime on Sports Center. I'm your host, Dale.
And I'm Kane the Shrub Watson. Finally, I do have to introduce the show again. My co-host is back, so you know him lead off things and kick off things. And we have an interesting lineup today again. What's on the slate, Dale?
Yes, well, we'll be speaking with the Gensec of Tennis Jamaica, Joseph Dibbs. The team is getting ready for the Davis Cup matchup next week in Lebanon. Yeah, so he will give us the rundown. Also, you have a little controversy in terms of team selection, so he will give us the rundown on that. And later on in the show, we'll have track and field analyst Hubert Lawrence.
Yeah, because we just concluded the World Championships in Budapest, where we had a decent showing. We garnered 12 medals, 3 gold, 5 silver and 4 bronze. But we like to hear from track and field analysts the whole run on the championships, how it was, and we're looking forward to the future. So we have to break down what went on and where we had highs and lows, the whole mix of the track and field as it's just concluded last week. So
yes. First, let us big up. You guys know that I was away on national duties. Yes, we had the table tennis pre-cadet and mini championships in Dominica Republic, and the team did well. I just want to big them up a little bit. Nickwan Smith, Young Malone Bird, G. Marcus Smith, Logan Royce, Mr. Manning, and also Mr. Bird. That's the older Bird, Anthony Bird. We came back with 5 medals in total, which is normally the norm, I should say, at that level for us. The under 30, the under 11 boys, they're pretty much inexperienced, but they put out a good. It was a good display of table tennis for them.
Okay. So that's where you were. I didn't know. I thought you went on to greener pastures and was an ESPN or something like that.
No.
Okay.
I was in Damrep.
So you're on national duties.
Yes, in Damrep. And the kids play well. The kids played well.
And before we go on, we have to big up the listeners. Everybody tune in. We see the numbers on the Primal 4K app. And the listeners out there on Fit FM 96.7, Facebook, YouTube, the show. Hey. Thank you again for tuning in. So, yeah.
Yeah. So we came back. We came third overall. We came back with what? About 4 bronze and 2 silver medals. The under 11 boys did well. I think the under 13 boys slightly underperformed. The conditions was a little bit tough to play in because that a storm passed over the country at the midpoint of the tournament, and it was a bit humid. So for some of the players, it was tough, in terms of adjusting.
And young players as well,
It's a learning process, so it's good to happen to them at this point in the game at the under 11 and the under 13 level is good. So at least when they reach to the senior level, they would have experienced something like that. Because you go to some places that the air is different, the moisture in the air is different. So it was very difficult for a couple of the players. Some could adjust, some just couldn't. But as I say, it's a learning experience at this level. It's a development tournament, I might add. We want to win the gold medal and all of that. But the most important thing is experience. It's getting that experience and development.
You have to start from somewhere, and the grassroots is the best place. And once they can transition into, as I said, cadet level, then junior level, then to the senior level, you don't want to just be out there thrown into the fire at the highest level when you become a senior or even high up in the ranks. So tournaments like these are always good for the youngsters and help them get better quicker and open up their eyes to what is out there, not only for sport, but in general, they can apply it to ways in life where you go through battles, hardships, and that's what makes sports so brilliant. So that's why I always enjoy when kids start playing sports from an early age. As soon as they can, you get them out there with a ball, a tennis ball or a football, any racket sport, something to get them more hands-on, and you show more balance in life. So even so, playing represent your country, going on, helps them to grow even better as individuals and show that they not only representing myself, you're representing your family, representing your country. And for 9-year-old going out there and playing for your country, it's a great experience. Apart from getting a
a couple of them It's the first time traveling on a plane.
Yeah,
Taking the plane. And I tell you this, you'd never know.
Yeah.
Hold him comfort. Young bird, just hold him comfort.
Yeah. There you go.
Him tucking and you'd never know him never take a plane.
There you go.
Okay, when we're coming back, a piece of turbulence hit us.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's the first ever experience. I'm like the plane almost drop out of the sky.
I experienced it one time last year with. I was going on a TT tour with Chris. Me and Chris take a lot of flights, but that flight, I remember sitting in the plane and me and Chris just look at each other like we're saying, if I hit, respect it up, big up, trust me. But when you go through stuff like that, that few things can phase you. Cause even people see me, Kane, why you walk like that? I say, I walk with confidence. Traveling, playing sports helped me to build my confidence. I say, you always walk like, you're the king of me. I say, well, they call me the champ. So. Yeah. But sports, and I see the kids going around, and it helped them to build confidence.
Of course.
And they know how to represent themselves, not only in the classroom, on the streets.
And I tell you this one too. Even taking exams, playing tournaments, as a kid, it helped you for exam. That anxiety what you might face when you're going to take a big a 6E exam or an A-level exam. Going to tournaments and knowing the feeling of getting nervous and knowing how to handle it. It also helps with the exams. You have a lot of kids that will study and know everything, and once I'm reaching the exam, them freeze up. So the tournament experience, playing sports and being involved in that kind of atmosphere will transition over into other areas in life.
Life on a whole, and I say, sports to me is that bridge that filters out into every aspect of life. Your home, your work. I mean, even Peter as the boss. Yeah. If he wasn't a top table tennis player, he wouldn't be the boss like him is the boss.
I think so.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because sports show him that, and him translate it. Yeah. And I see how he is with all his co-workers, and they have respect for him. They don't fear him, and that's how he deals with them. So I think he should be glad that he chose table tennis.
Of course.
Or table tennis chose him. Whichever way you want to put it. But all walks of life, all sports people, you can tend to have a different footprint on life. That's why I say, hey, sports is life. Yeah, show you. So no matter what level, I mean,
I have a little take that I'm gonna bring out a little bit later in the show. In terms of we had a little discussion from the 60s, 70s, 80s to the current time now in terms of sports and the difference. So later on down in the show, I'll bring up that topic and we can discuss it a little bit. All right. Now, I think we have the Gen set for Tennis Jamaica. Welcome, Mr. Dibbs. Welcome to Primal Sports.
Not with us yet?
Not quite with us yet.
Yeah, so...
Hello.
Hi. Yes, Mr. Dibbs. Not seeing you, but we're definitely hearing you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon. We're seeing you right now. Yeah. The Gen Sec of the Tennis Association. I know you have so many titles. I don't know which one. So you're the Gen Sec, correct?
Yeah, I'm the Gen Sec. Not the boss. They say Peter is the boss.
Yeah.
I was always the boss in table tennis. So I don't know.
Peter remember those days, definitely, yeah.
Okay, good. So, I used to be your bosses too. Because,
that is true. You used to be the president. That's what I'm saying. I don't know which title. I don't know which title to bring up. The former president of the Jamaica Tennis Association, national champion, former national champion, but now the Gen Sec of the Jamaica Tennis Association.
Yes.
And we are currently preparing for a Davis Cup tie in Lebanon next week, is it?
No, the week after next, the 15th and the 16th of September.
Yeah, September 15th to 16th. And we're going to take on Lebanon.
So,
Lebanon. And this is for qualification into Group A. So whoever wins this match.
I think so. I think we're going to Group 1. I think
Group 1, sir.
We're going to Group 1, yes.
Group 1, yeah.
So remember, we beat Estonia in Jamaica in end of January, February.
Yeah.
So this is the next stepping stone. So Lebanon was in Group 1, and they lost and went down into Group 2.
Yeah.
So now this match will say who goes up into Group 1.
Yeah. So Lebanon is a formidable opponent, and as I said, a Group 1 country. So for us, Jamaica, it would be a big win. And tell us about the preparation and what the team members consist of and what we're looking forward to come next week. Because I know when we beat Estonia here, we'll put pot cover and pan and nice, but we're going into uncharted territory in Lebanon. They sound like a war zone for me. Yeah. So tell us how the team is looking.
Well, the team is looking very, very good. So the team is, Blaise Bicknell, Randy Phillips, John Chin, Daniel Azar, and David Goldsmith.
Yeah.
So David Goldsmith was triumphant in a trials we had a couple of weeks ago, and he came out number 1. It was a nice trials, very well competed, and he came out on top. And he's been doing very well in the local scene for the last year or so. He's had a really good wins, and he's an older player, but that's what we're about, to giving opportunities for everybody to have a chance to represent the country. And we're feeling very confident. Blaise has been playing challenger tournaments, and he beat a player that was ranked number 1 and reached the finals in a challengers last week in Peru. And I think he was in about mid 200s in the world, and he beat that player, which says to us that he can beat the Lebanese players, because they're around 200 plus 300 in the world. And he's been moving up, on that trajectory, getting into the top 200s and reaching finals in challengers on clay, which we're playing in Lebanon, in Peru, red clay. I mean, he's right there. And we played Greece, we lost to Greece, but Blaise had beaten Tsitsipas's brother on red clay. And so he plays very well on it, and we like our chances going into Lebanon. We hear Hezbollah is not coming into the main city. We're not too worried.
So you don't.
Is it that the host country choose which surface to play on, or is it?
Yes, the host country decides what. Yeah, but I mean, I went to Lebanon 2 years ago. My daughter played a tournament there, and I think most of the country, I didn't see any hard courts. It was all red clay. So I think for the most part, countries like that just have to use the red clay.
So will that be in our favor or against us playing on that surface? Because
are we practicing?
Are we practicing clay?
Yeah, well, Blaise has been beating a lot of big players on the red clay. And as I said, when he was on Greece, that was on clay, and he beat Tsitsipas's brother. And we were up 2-0.
And I remember that time.
And then he lost the doubles, and I think he tired him out after that.
Yeah.
But so I mean, his chances are just as good as anything. I think he might be even better on the
clay,
on the red clay, because he has a heavy top spin. So when he's spinning,
what about Phillips? Is that his favorite service?
I think so. I'm not sure. But players like that, they go around and play on all services around the world, and his game is kind of balanced, right? But yes, that does have a heavy top spin, and as you know, when the different type of tables we had in table tennis, the red clay make the ball kick up, and he has a heavy kick serve. So when even in Jamaica, we put a lot of, when we redid the courts at Tennis Jamaica, we made it for him so that the ball would kick higher.
Okay.
So even when he was serving against Estonia, and he served a second serve, kick serve, and the ball bounced and fly over the youth head, and just went into the stands. So it's that kind of thing.
All right, cool. So what we recently saw a bit of controversy in the recent selection of the tennis team, but we want to hear more about what took place, because what transpired in that bit of a riff.
Well, I believe that they wanted to hype up tennis in Jamaica and make everybody be aware of what's going on. So it must have been some kind of PR thing between the president and the Blaise.
Straight out of table tennis books.
Exactly, This had nothing to do with me. So I have a lot of controversy that follow, but this has nothing to do with me.
I was wondering.
But the president is a big PR man, and Blaise had a publicist. So I guess they decided that they wanted to make sure that coming up to Lebanon, it was in the press and everything was going good. But everything is settled now. It was it was, I think that, you know, the just, you know, people's personal feelings and, you know, what people want set want and the other set want just kind of, you know, got to a head. And really what we should have done as a board was try and shut it down earlier. But because we try to be open and, you know, conciliatory and try to think it, I think we allowed it to get where we shouldn't have. I think we could have cut it, you know, put a stop to it earlier. But you know, it's all good now. Tickets have been bought, the players are on the way, and everything is good. It's all love.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, okay.
So Joseph, just one quick question. So basically, you're saying that the whole thing was overblown.
Um, I think so, and I think the reasons why it went on. So our position as a board, right? How as a general secretary, how I structure the board with our management team is that you have the board, you have the technical committee. I think we kind of had that in table tennis, right? Where the technical committee that kind of works on the selection of the team and all of that. And then what we set up, because we've been having this same kind of problem for the last couple of years, where you know, when comes selection time, everybody's upset. Who's in playing trials? Who get automatic selection? These type of things. We put in a 3-member panel, which had um, the captain, which was Mel Spence, Errol Campbell, and Noel Rutherford. I mean, 3 top ex-players, top coaches. I mean, above reproach. And their job was to kind of deal with these things, recommend who was supposed to play, and everything like that, which they did. And as the technical committee, which I'm the chairman, and the board, we just ratified what they said. But Blaze obviously didn't like that and decided that he wanted to object, which is his right to do. The method of it, knowing that it wasn't the board's fault, I mean, we just accepted the recommendation of the coach, the 3-coach panel. I mean, it just went overboard and it got a little personal. And there's back history with the president and even myself and Blaze's, you know, family just going on and with tennis in the past. You know, when I don't remember, you know, there's this court case with my daughter and John Azar son going to travel, and there was something with trials and no trials. They didn't want to have trials. We wanted to have trials, and it was a big thing in the newspaper, and we went to court and we won. That had something to do with Blaze's parent and that sort of thing. And there's been a lot of bad blood. So I think,
well, Joseph, we don't wanna dwell on that too long. But we just want to wish you good luck and all that, and thanks for coming on. But Joseph, one more thing. People have been asking me over the boards. Behind your right over your right shoulder, there's a symbol. It looks like a S. What is that symbol there?
it's not S, it's Jesus Christ on the cross. Is that what you're seeing?
No, it looked like it looked to me like I see a big S behind you with 2 lines going through it.
I thought it was the cross, the Jesus cross.
All right, I thought it was a dollar symbol, Joseph, which I realize is very important to you.
Well, I'm trying to build a little, you know, S thing with a dollar sign and put it on brand my shirts. So,
all right,
make
Joseph.
sure that it's like, you know.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on as usual.
All right. So, I don't know if I'm going to be in Lebanon, but if I'm in Lebanon, I'll let you know. And on the Saturday, depending on the time, we can link up and everything like that.
We'd love to have that. We'd appreciate that. Either which way, we'll keep in contact, and all the best for the tennis team in Lebanon, and go and get a win for us.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Respect.
All right. That is
Jensek.
Joseph Dibbs of Tennis Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yes. Settling the issue.
Yeah.
Yes.
With a big Davis Cup tie coming up on September 15th to the 16th in Lebanon, where Jamaica will try to qualify for Group 1. And I think that would be a big step for tennis in Jamaica.
Creating history.
Yeah, creating history.
Yeah.
And we see where the players are even improving. As you said, Blaze is doing well on the circuit and beating players in the top 200. So
Blaze won a couple more tournaments
the
last time we spoke to
him. Yeah, so
he
won
an ATP.
Playing a lot of tennis, getting some good results. So he will lead the team along with experienced players like Randy Phillips and company. So all the best to them, and we'll keep posted on what's going on there. So 2 weeks time, September 15th to 16th, Jamaica will play Lebanon. All right, next up.
Yes, man. We're moving on to track and field. Now we have sports analyst, track and field analyst and commentator with us now, Hubert Lawrence. Welcome to Primal Sports.
Non-stop TT players, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, big champ, D2 champ. All right.
Yeah, so let's kick off things with World Championship and in Budapest, the whole performance of the Jamaica team. And even so, before we dive into that, tell us about the championship itself. I'm sure you saw it as a success, and I mean, upcoming stars and veterans playing the trade. What are your comments on the whole proceeding of the championships?
I thought Jamaica did pretty well. 3 goals in 12 medals. We've done 4, 5, 6, and 7 before, but the 12 is up there with our second highest collection of medals at a big championship. I thought the team was both experienced and young at the same time. And so it's, when you think of Paris next year, the Olympic Games, and Tokyo World Champs 25, I think we'll have a strong team going forward into both Paris and Tokyo. So I thought it was a good start for those games in the future. Had some mishaps, but 12 medals is quite good.
Yeah, so I agree with that. Even though I thought, as I said, first, I would say it's an unlucky championships, although we did get some unexpected medals, but with the likes of Hubert, to me, that was just a tough pill to swallow.
I thought there were 2 like that. Hubert pulls on the runway when he is the longest qualifier, and his qualifying jump is the biggest jump in the meet. And Broadbell, world number 1, even now, after Parchment's 12.96 this morning, he's still the fastest man in the world. And so when those 2 guys went down, I'd had Hubert for second because he lost in Monaco to Zango, won the world title, but that's a medal. And I'd had Broadbell maybe to win.
Yeah, definitely on the podium.
So that's 2 medals. You know, you have to run the races. There's nothing sure in life. But on paper, you had 2 medals that went down without you really running for it or anything like that. Was Hubert nervous? No, he always jumps big on the first round. So he was just doing what he has done all season for 2 or 3 seasons. So unfortunate.
Yeah. And as I said, even next one was Pinnock. I think he still has the world lead in long jump, and he did that in the qualifying rounds. And then, as I said, you have to do it in the finals or do it.
That one is a little bit different because Tentaglu lost last year on the last round. He's Olympic champion, world indoor champion, European champion. That's the last piece of his all-round gold medal collection. That's the big guy pulling it out in the days, in the moments that count. So I didn't think that one quite so unlucky. That's a big jumper.
Big jump.
Jumping big when it's big.
Yeah. He was talking to Peter earlier on before the show started, and we both agreed that was probably the performance of the championships in the manner he did it, even though it's not a world record or a championship record.
There was one more. Rojas of Venezuela.
Yeah. Peter said the same thing. Yeah.
Down and out, barely getting the last 3 jumps. And on the last jump, looks at the people and says, nah, 15:01 or something. Not a great jump for her, but much better than the field. So I thought that was, and what is the word? That's the most clutch performance in the field.
I think she did it purposely though. I think she was just timed. I think it was just drama effects. You know, when you're watching a movie and you know that what's going to happen in the end, all right, but it's just a matter of how you're going to say, all right, the bad guy going to die, but let's see.
We can cancel the Netflix, man.
I'm just saying, I knew she was going to win. Even with those bad jumps, I was like, Ross going to pull it off in the end. But the Greek guy did it in a manner where was under pressure. Although Ross is under pressure, we know Ross. Ross is Ross.
But that guy is a last jump specialist as well.
Yeah.
So both of them proved in the moment that's important how good they were.
Our next note I want to touch on too, we have to 400-meter hurdles, Rashawn Clark. I mean, now the national record holder at age 19, running sub 48, 47, 34. And I look at the stats because, you know, and he's running the likes of Santos, Felix Sanchez, and Bertrand Jackson. He's right up there in that time frame, and those are greats from in the past. And I'm saying this kid is only 19. I'm not talking about the war homes and to the level where they take it up, but
I think for him to run that fast, I used to not look at the 4 hurdles record for Jamaica because you had it stored. It was 47.60 forever by Winthrop Graham. But now it's been smashed by this guy. He's just 19 years old. He's tall, he's fast, he's raw. He's going to improve. Maybe he's going to go sub 47 in the future. I mean, if he stays healthy and stays on the pathway. But outstanding season for him. I saw Matt Carter in 49.92 this year.
Yeah. And now he's 47.3. So I'm saying to me that and he finished 4th outside the medal podium, but yet still a remarkable performance. And
absolutely,
one, as I said, looking for the future Paris next year, getting more training, more muscle. I mean, sub 47 may be on the cards.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, Antonio Watson, was that a surprise? Was that a surprise, or was it in the making?
It would have been a surprise before the championship. You'd think of him getting to the final, him and Bailey. But after the semi, remember, no Stephen Gard, no Michael Norman before the meet. Wade Van Niekerk, by that time, not looking as good as he looked at races in Jamaica. It looked possible that this guy could become world champion. When Bertland won in '83, Herb McKinley was there from the Helsinki quartet. Bertland won in Helsinki. And somehow the fates organized for Bertland to be physically present in Budapest when Watson's going to take over. So a surprise if you went straight from the start to the start of the final. But if you saw the semi, how good he looked running a personal best 44.13, then it looked like he could win after that. So well done to Watson. He was world youth champion, so sort of knows something of what it's like to win at the high level, and well done to him.
World, and 40 years apart since we won a gold medal. I said Bertrand Cameron and now Antonio Watson. So to me, that event is one where I think we should be doing better in flat 4 men and women. And I mean, hopefully this is a gateway to more athletes now doing better at the 4. So
I think the 100, I know we've done in the 100 since say 2004, 2005. As Safa sets the world record, carries it home. It has pulled people to the flat 100 meters and away from the 400. And so hopefully Watson's win will make some people think about devoting themselves to the 400.
That's what I was hoping, because for me, I always wanted to see both do the 400 meter before he switched to doing the 1, and now Sherika Jackson doing 1-2. To me, I still think that Sierra as a 2-4 athlete and a 1-2 athlete, but I mean, she's one of the fastest women ever.
Trust me, the tall man would have run 42.75.
I believe that.
Trust me, I believe, I honestly think he would have broken the record. Well, it's bold, so no matter what he competes in, he'd probably break the record.
Even the 800,
Even the javelin, because I mean,
I felt like he'd have run 42.75. If he had run the 4 hurdles, he'd have run low 46 already, easy, because he just has so much ability to run, and tall, so the hurdle doesn't stop him.
Alien.
But we get the best sprinter of all time.
So we have to give and take. And we have to touch on Danielle Williams. I mean, that performance, 2015, she did it. I mean, had a rocky road in between with injuries and season after season, but that race from start to finish, I mean.
And in the final, a curious statistic, she's the only person in the final who runs her best time for the season.
Big time performance. And that lineup in the finals.
Quinn, Harrison, Amusan, we knew she'd be off because she was distracted by the stuff before. But for Daniel to summon up a season's best in the final, that's big time.
And that was a big field. The ladies that she defeated in that field is probably the most elite lineup ever you could probably feel. Apart from
Camacho Quinn gets stuck in the blocks. Maybe her point-to-point time is very fast, but you have to run the whole race.
From start to finish.
So Danielle, she's the only Jamaican who has won 2 gold medals in hurdles, not just sprint, not just women, in hurdles in the World Championship. So in the World Championship. Bridge Foster, gold, silver, bronze. Winthrop Graham, silver, bronze. Omar McLeod, gold. Hansel Parchment, 2 silvers, but no one has won 2 gold medals ever in the World Champs for Jamaica. So she's gold, bronze from 2019. She's the most successful hurdler for Jamaica, period, in the World Championships.
Yeah, definitely top performance. And we have to big up even the persons that even didn't make the podium, because I even look at high jump female, Distin finishing 5th. I mean, Dacres finishing, was it 4th or 5th? But down the line, but these performances are taking note of them, and I say with
4th for Shanika Ricketts as well.
Shanika Ricketts,
Put girl Thomas Dodd, 5th.
Yeah.
So this is some of my colleagues count team places like champs. And you can see this is a big, broad team, not just top end medal quality, but a big, broad team where Jamaica is now able to get into finals in a wider bandwidth of events. So it's
400-meter hurdles,
women. I think next year France. I think next year in Paris. I think that we're gonna come up with more medals.
400-meter hurdles.
Long jump, second, third, fourth. We're looking for the 3 ladies in the finals. It was hard before to say who would get that bronze medal. There was a space because McLaughlin had moved to flat 400 and couldn't go to the meter at all. So Clayton running 52.81. She's faster than Dion Hemmings now. Putting a big performance right through from round to round trying to get the bronze. So well done to the ladies.
Yeah, I see.
As you guys spoke about the 110 hurdles, it remind me a bit of the 100-meter women's final. With Daniel in the lane 1 and Shakari and the outside lane. But Hubert, I have my opinions in that race, but I want to hear yours.
My opinion is a little bit different. A long time ago, Mr. Matt put up against Donovan James 3 tournaments straight. The results are the match is close, the game's loose, but it's 3-love to Donovan James. After that, Mr. Matt didn't put us against each other anymore in the rules anymore. 3-love is 3-love. We have to accept that on this season, that Shakari in the 100 is ahead of Sharika. And all the races look the same, no matter what the lane draw is. Sharika out, looking majestic, and at 80, 85, here comes Shakari. So maybe the coach will have to look at awareness. Corey lost to Crawford, he didn't see him, but 3-0 is 3-0. We just have to say that on this season, in the 100 meters, Richardson is on top of Sharika in the 100 this year.
Running a championship record. 10.65 is.
And let's go with that. Sharika's.
So you're telling me that her top end speed is faster than Sharika?
In the 100, in the 4x1, we see it's even. In the 4x1, they're going even. You can see in the baton pass, but in the 100, whether the lane draw has Shakari far out wide like in Budapest or close like in Rabat or on the Diamond League, the result is the same and the race looks exactly the same. I think this season there's something Shakari is doing to hold her top speed for longer, to transit to top speed that, Sharika being just 2 years into the big sprint program at MVP isn't doing yet. Maybe next year things will be different, but this season, just like me and Donovan James and Mr. Mark, 3-0 is 3-0. 3-0. Yeah, 3-0 is 3-0. You have to say to her, well done. It's 10.65 as well. Sharika's 10.65, 1.0 win in Kingston, and the girls' 10.65 is minus 0.2. So the 10.65 in Budapest is faster than the 10.65 in Kingston. She's on top this year in the 100, and we have to accept that.
I have to accept that. Listen.
I won't fully accept it, but I'll accept your point.
Hubert, I have a question about acceptance. Yep, my Twitter won't let me go without asking you this question, sir. On the final day of the relays, the 4x400s, a panel with Hubert Lawrence, MVP man, Mr. James. And hurdler lady, what's her name again? Bridget Foster predicted 2 short goals for Jamaica. 2 short goals for Jamaica. So I put my pot on the fire and left it warming, expecting 2 short goals for Jamaica. What went wrong, Hubert?
You put your pot on the wrong stove. No, the USA is always going to be powerful. They're going to bring in Benjamin. I expect that to happen. On my sheet, Peter, for 4x4, I had bronze for the women before the USA got knocked out, and I think silver for the men. Now, McDonald, the first leg, runs a little bit slower than he should have and puts the other three guys in traffic. Bailey got hurt, couldn't run the 4x4, and so suddenly that medal becomes a lower grade medal, and in the end, fourth place. So
no medal at all. Yeah.
no medal at all.
Tell us a little about the 4x1, the lineup for the 4x1, the women's.
Men or women? Women?
Yes.
Let's go women. Let's go women first.
That's a big topic. That's a big
I
topic.
think that the coaches did the best that they could.
Best.
I think that the key matter on the 4x1 women is whether Elaine should have run in the final.
Yeah.
There's a place where we test these things.
No, what's your opinion? What's your opinion?
My opinion, I thought
Yes.
they did the best they could. I thought that was the best team. I thought if Shelley had not gotten hurt in the backstretch, we'd have gotten the button close or maybe in front. And if we got in front, we would win because, as we can tell, Richardson and Jackson are the same at top speed. So I thought they did the best job. I thought that they ran Elaine, and it was out of respect for how great she has been for us. 11-0-0 yesterday. She's still, number 5 in Jamaica this year. Her doctor told her to rest after the trials. So there's no running between trials and Budapest. And therefore, no reason that the coach would have to put her in the last lineup. She ran good, she ran well. What they might have done, another solution maybe, is to run the finals team, but with her in for Sharika on the ankle leg in the heats. Sharika and her are about the same size. That'd be a big, good practice for the team without Sharika who's running 100 and 200. But I thought they ran, the 4th fastest Jamaican women of the season, even now. So
really?
Yeah, but there were rumors coming out, as the usual rumors with the women in terms of who wants to run which leg, who don't want to run the curve because.
But it's not so much rumors now. Let's go through some of these things. Elaine only wanted to run in a straight line based on her fitness level. Yeah. Shelley, at first, good to have her in the squad because she ran all the legs in the past, but because of the knee injury, can't start and can't run turns. And Sharika, it is becoming well known, prefers only to receive the baton, not to pass it. So even though it looks interchangeable, on the ground, the coaches have more limitations to work with than we can see from the distance. Yeah. So Morrison's a great starter.
Sharika isn't flexible enough to run a third leg like
Mr. Well, what is what overarches that, is that there's no training camp, there's no practice races. This is system now, as opposed to coaches on the ground. This is
Jamaicans coming up through the champ system. I thought we would have all of these things pretty much locked.
No, you need to practice. You need to practice and prepare. And one of the things I suggested on the coverage, I don't know if it was after or before the double goal prediction, Peter, is mandatory relay camp. So that the team event part of the track and field gets rehearsed and practiced. So I think we have to move to that so we have those things sorted. So if Sharika was going to come in the third leg because she's 200 meters, that would be good.
Yeah.
But she's not comfortable maybe handle the baton with the other hand and not comfortable passing the baton. So some limitations because we don't prepare. And for me on my sheet, I have second for the women and third for the men. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a disclaimer then, Hubert. That's a bit of a disclaimer.
Right. No, it's because of the preparation that's absent. If you don't prepare, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more question. I'm sorry. I have one more question, Hubert.
Yeah.
The relay team for the men's 4x100. Yes. And perhaps next week we'll have one of the victims of the selection process here. Just letting you know that Kane Watson has secured an exclusive with one such victim. But we saw today or yesterday in China a Jamaican run 9.83. 9.85. Yeah. Certainly, probably the fastest time a Jamaican has run. And he wasn't even on the relay team. Why?
Yeah. Thompson ran only one race in the heats and withdrew from the rest of the tournament because of injuries, apparently. And so didn't make the team. That's really what it is. Because you have to run all the way through the tournament to make the team.
Yes.
No, what he might have done, like McDonald at 400 and like Golson at 100 for the for the relay pools is to provide the selector with evidence that you are fit and ready to go further. Now, Elaine didn't run at all, so you can't promote Elaine maybe. And Kishan didn't convince the people that he was fit again. That's my reading of it. You'd have to ask them directly. But again,
did you see the gentleman run this morning, Hubert? Did you see him
saw
run?
I saw it this morning. He looked great. But this is Kishan Thompson, Gavin Maceo to UTEC to MVP. And MVP
It looks a real deal to me. Looks like a real deal.
They regard him as the next coming of Asafa Powell. That fast.
Yeah. 985 is
they couldn't pick a next man to call other than Asafa Powell.
Well, 97 sub-10s, 2 world bronze medals, 3 Olympic finals, world records at 2 different time settings. That's not so bad. You could be sprinter Hubert Lawrence in 5 for 40 meters, that sort of thing. Yeah. But the relay selection.
One for the future.
What was the placing for Goldston at the trials?
Didn't reach the finals, ran the first round, ran sub-10, didn't run the semi, didn't run the final.
No, not Thompson, Goldston.
Goldston seventh.
Yeah.
But remember now, let me touch this for you. The relay selection has always been more flexible than the individual spots. Omar McLeod, the last one, ran 4x1 2017. A hurdler, didn't run the 100 meters. The legendary tall man, backstretch, 4x1 2007, spoiled both baton passes, ran only 200 at the national championships. 2004, Taylor Lawrence, injured at time of trials, but runs our way into the team and is part of the gold medal team 2004. There's a lot of that because the relay selection is flexible and you can pick from anybody in the squad. Okay. What seemed to be the letdown, Peter, this time? Communication. The J3 is, in my opinion, should have done for Goldston what they did for McDonald and properly announced that he was in the squad and where in the squad he was. Did it for McDonald. Goldston goes to Chengdu to World University Games. We watch it because it's table tennis. Wins the 100 final, 3 races in 2 days. Beats Masangani, who went to the semis in Budapest. Any coach in the world would want those guys on the team. But the J3 did not properly announce that he was on the team. And I think that is at the center of the problems.
From administrative standpoint, then that's where the whole...
You have to, communication is critical. If you don't let people know what the deal is, and also this matter of the flexibility, maybe when you make the team, for any national team, you should get excerpt of the relevant rules that govern your participation and how people qualify. So it's not a mystery if things change down the line. So that's a problem.
Yeah, communication.
We can see where Mr. Taekwondo could have felt as if it was personal.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely, because it's not communicated to them that.
I know him. He's a good guy. I know Wilson is a good guy as well. But this information breakdown puts these two people at loggerheads because the people who should have the information didn't do it.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
Bringing him in at that late hour. Yeah, because Goldston audition was at the late hour, and then it was at the hands of omitting Tracy. But
I don't know if that's what it meant, but because people did not know, it created discomfort. And so I totally understand Tracy's position. I understand Wilson's position as well. I know them both, 2 good guys, but the breakdown is the way we inform people of McDonald should have been done the same way for Goldston.
Yeah, there's communication.
And in the end, Peter, again, they followed what we suggested on the TV panel by running the same team heats and finals so they could get some which is also because the team has no relay camp, no practice races. So the competition becomes practice.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, thanks for clearing that up as well in terms of the flexibility of the selection.
Yeah.
Once you're in the squad,
and that's well documented back in history. Yeah, man. So the first three go in for the flat event, but after that, the team is allowed to pick anybody on their squad.
Yeah. A lot of people thought it was like 1, 2, 3, 4 must run.
No.
One year, 1995, James Beckford ran the 4x1 after winning silver in the long jump. So there's a wide range of flexibility historically through relay selections.
All right, Hubert. Thank you very much as always.
Make sure you have a TT man for the next segment as well here, so keep it going.
All right,
thanks for coming
All right,
on.
take care.
Most appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, man, that
Bless
was
you.
Hubert Lawrence.
All the best.
Yeah.
Yes, that was track and field analyst and commentator Hubert Lawrence.
Yeah.
You know, telling us about the rules, some of the rules.
Breaking down the whole world championship.
Selection of the relay. So as you said, Peter will have Taekwondo Tracy on next week.
Yeah,
that's the plan. Yes,
that's the plan to definitely get him on next
week.
week.
Share his side of the story with us here.
Yeah, you know, speaking out against administrations tends to be one of our strong suits here.
Yes,
and private
communication
is always key. Yeah, I mean,
issue, right?
yeah,
Sure.
I mean, I've been left off teams before. I mean, without being communicated. Invested in the youths, and I was 21 years old.
Oh, you were
I was
at
20.
the time.
Yeah, they invested in
2010.
2010. Yeah.
2010.
Almost.
I think that was a championship that Peter got an automatic spot.
Yeah.
Well, the top guys are always automatic. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, when was it ever any different? The top guys are always automatic.
I want to thank them for that because after that I just put everybody to silence. You know?
Yes, 2011.
Administrations.
You had a 6-year dominance.
Yeah, I mean, administrations have to be held accountable, though, and we see it where across all sports, it's always one.
We're glad to have contributed to Kane's development.
Yeah.
All right, people. Well, you know it's time for sports commentary.
Controversial boss himself.
All right, Peter, take it away from me now.
Greetings. Well, we're moving from one of the most uncontroversial hosts we can ever have to perhaps a more controversial person. Should we mollycoddle our athletes when they fail? Should we? I saw a letter in the Gleaner this week that said that we need to support our athletes and lift them up and all this kind of thing, which I'm all for. And we should be careful not to say anything negative and all this kind of thing, which I'm not all for. I believe that sports is entertainment, and fans have every right to pick any position they want in watching sports. So the letter to the Gleaner was trying to say that the athletes need our support and all this kind of thing. And as again, I'm all for supporting and all this kind of thing. But when a man drop a relay button or a man running a hurdles on my tax dollars, I think I have the right for ball out and cuss and thing. I even asked for evidence from one person to send me all this abuse that they said they're taking, because I have not seen it. But I saw a few things that, we can categorize them as abuse. But by and large, all fans everywhere, not just Jamaicans, we have expectations. And as a matter of fact, we big up people when they do well in Jamaica. But when they don't do well, we also reserve the right to say what we feel to say and mouth make for talk, and we enjoy it. And that's part of the entertainment of sports. Yeah. Watching your favorite win or watching your favorite lose is part of sports. And people are going to talk one way or the other. Same thing with Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles win a thing and feel that he need to talk and say that NBA is not champion of no world, right? And he's rolling up his mouth, and many of his points are good. And I give him 9 out of 10 for it. Except that I feel that Noah, I remember many times when Cartel was the big man or Bounty was the big man. That's the man that you pick on. And what Noah Lyles is doing is him looking forward, if you want to know the truth. Because Noah Lyles could have won his 3 medals and just bask in that glory. But he's picking his fight now in order to get a what do you call it? Get a bounce or a steam from the thing. If you notice, one of our co-hosts, I gave him a drink today from a friend of mine. He manufactures a drink called Saka. and I gave Dale and Kane a taste of this drink. I haven't had it yet. But all I see on Dale's face from him taking it is smiles. I don't know what effect Saka has on him, but I mean, I don't see the man frown. And I hear later on him say that he feels you know, the soccer put all kind of thoughts in his mind. So, US Open. Have you guys been following the amount of upsets so far? 9 of 16 top seeds are out. In fact, last year's runner-up, Casper Ruud, got beaten by a Chinaman. And I've never seen a Chinese man play lawn tennis like that, man. If you get a chance to watch that match, his name is Zhang, playing against Casper Ruud. But normally ground stroking is a question of who made the first mistake when we are at the baseline swapping. This Chinaman hitting winners from the ground stroke, from the baseline. You need to watch it. Anyway, big seed, Casper Ruud, last year's runner-up is out. Also, Rooney, who was one of the top 4 seeds as well. I think he's from Norway, Denmark. I can never make track between the two where they come from. But he's out as well. Also, Tsitsipas is already out. So, as usual, it looks like it's going to come down to the same 2 people. In the 2000s, it was always coming down to a fella named Joseph Dibbs, who was on the show, and myself. One, the forces of good, the other, the forces of evil. Every tournament came down to those 2. Later on, Kane Watson came in. But what I'm saying, this US Open is going to boil down to a finals between Djokovic and Alcaraz, I think. And if the thing plays to how it's looking, I think the Djokovic is going to win. We're going to take some bets on it as usual. We're going to ask the guys what you think and all that. But if you ask me what's going to happen on the women's draw, I don't have a clue because the women's tennis is not settled at the moment. If we can agree on it, it's not settled at the moment. So I watching a stage show there. This is about martial arts now, and I saw a martial arts move that I'd like to share with you all. There was a DJ who was trying to use on a stage. It might be one of these IRFM stage, and you can go look it up on YouTube. And a Rasta man run on the stage and they tried to take the mic away from him. He wanted to talk. And the Rasta man is called Ongo Penge or Enge Pongo. Anyway, so the host was trying to get Ongo Pongo off the stage, right? And Ongo Pongo got very upset because, you know, security was surrounding him, and he took the mic and flung it at thing, and then took the security and grabbed his leg and threw him off the stage. Now, as you know, I'm a martial artist. So I was surprised that the Rasta man had so much power. And you need to see this. But what it has to do is and we call it in UFC, we call it shooting. The Ongo Penge shot for the right leg and threw him off balance. Threw the guy down on the ground, and the security guard was very weak because no Rasta man can throw me down like that. But you guys need to watch it with Ongo Penge. But I give Ongo Penge the martial arts move of the week. Yeah. And that's sports commentary. What say you?
Ongo Penge. Oh boy. No, that was sports commentary with controversial boss himself, Peter Mo Young, I tell you. Never short on humor. Ongo Penge. But yeah, do you remember the phone lines are now open? 1-876-552-7406. I'll repeat it again. 1-876-552-7406. And that's via WhatsApp only. And again, we want to big up the listeners out there on the Primal 4K app, Fit FM 96.7, YouTube, Facebook. You know, said to the world. Thanks for yeah. So, I mean, again, big up all listeners and viewers out there. All right. Yeah, I want to touch on a lot of things, but one specific thing that Peter said. What do you think of the no lies comments?
No, I think it's spot on. It's facts.
Yeah,
it's
I think he's doing it more to promote his sport.
Yeah.
I want to see that track and field should be more highlighted. It's not as big in the States, and he's saying he's the world champion, and you know, I mean, he should get more credit. Whereas in the NBA, them boots up and he say, "Oh, NBA world champion," but they ain't the world champions. He has a point, but I think he's going about it wrong. Whereas he's more trying to pull down the NBA to promote himself when he should say, hey, "I need to be more highlighted." But he wasn't short on speaking facts. Why are NBA champions seen as world champions?
It's a factual statement, but on the other hand, still.
The way him go about it. We
know that for sure the best players play in the NBA. The best players in the world play in the NBA. But would you say Denver Nuggets can beat the best club team in Europe?
Yeah.
Would you be 100% certain that the Nuggets, the NBA champions, could beat
any other club in the world?
The top club
but he just said it. It's clubs. It's not countries.
That's
It's club. So you can't be world champion. You have to represent a flag. When you're playing in NBA.
Don't you have world championship of club football? No?
World club football.
Club
football. Yeah,
so can you be a world champion club? Yes, you can.
Club.
Club
World Cup.
It doesn't have to have a flag.
No, but you said what?
But it's a club at club level.
It's club. Yeah, it's just club.
As a club world champion.
Yeah, but the club you can have participants from all countries in the world.
Yeah.
So you're representing a club instead of where you're representing a country.
Yeah.
So it's country versus club.
I know, but he's saying country, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be country. It can be club. I could be the best club in the world.
Yeah. But you're not world champion because the world is consisted of countries.
No, I think I can be world champion. I'm the world champion club.
No, the clubs, the man made the club. A man made club. A man made the club.
Yeah,
so
I
some rich man owner just say, all right, I'm buy this player and buy that player. Whereas both can go. Yeah, but yet still, imagine now, Gareth Bale is one of the best players in the world, and he'll probably never play a World Cup. Not say Gareth Bale, but you name Haaland. Haaland will not play a World Cup. Yeah. But can Haaland be world champion because he plays for Man City? Can't be world champion because he's world club champion. But
world club champion. But
so
international football or club football, which one has the highest standard?
Highest standard club. Yeah, because
they play together constantly. So club football is that's true too. But I think the fact that you're playing with the same person continuously, I think that improves the standard as well.
But if you ask anybody, you're more affiliated with your country. Winning for your country has more creed
it has more merit.
has more merit than
let me ask you
winning for a club.
Hold on. Pause. Let me jump on this one. Do you think Kevin Durant would rather win a world a FIBA title than an NBA title?
I think he'd prefer to win an NBA title.
That's what.
No, but
it's a stake. It's a stake.
It's a stake, and I mean the whole culture and everything, the prestige, and the competition level, and the competition level, and the sport.
Who would win a match between Manchester City and Argentina?
Lionel Messi.
You're joking.
I think City would win.
I think Messi. I think that Lionel Messi is the difference maker. Which Argentina team? The one with Messi? Messi trumps all. No. Messi is
City.
king.
I think City.
Messi is king.
I don't know.
Messi is king.
I'm not really a soccer person. It's a football.
The soccer team.
But I will always go with the top club teams versus a country.
Tottenham Hotspur versus Jamaica.
Huh?
Tottenham.
Tottenham.
Easily.
Well, you just said it, Tottenham versus Argentina. but even so, which are you just stated Kevin Durant? Yeah. All right, then which one do you think Messi would win? Would prefer Champions League or World Cup?
Obviously, World Cup.
Yeah, so it's a different sport, a different setup.
Yeah.
NBA is the pinnacle because that's what it is.
I think it's the pinnacle of the United States.
No, it is. I mean, even people playing all over the world, they want to win FIBA, yes, but they want to win NBA.
They'd rather win the Ballon d'Or than the FIFA Player of the Year award. Most people prefer the Ballon d'Or.
But Ballon d'Or is the individual title, but
the marketing of the NBA and everything outshines everything in terms of the rest
and
of the
each sport is different. Which one is higher? Winning Olympic gold medal versus winning US Open.
It's different for
Djokovic winning Olympic gold versus winning US Open.
Of course, the US Open.
Yeah,
but more prestige.
And he wants to win that Olympic gold. So it's different sports. Yeah, there are levels in different sports. That's why Noah's comment now is kind of skewed to the point where he's trying to drag down the NBA. Hey, let them put up world champions if they want to.
We have Froggy with 5.
In a few.
With a lot of skewed comments.
Let's go straight into Froggy with 5. Let's see what Froggy has to say in 5.
Welcome again, guests on Fit FM 96.7, especially Julia. And again, happy birthday to our own primal DJ Q. Have a blessed one. But for this one, I'm going to jump into it because it's literally about the jumps. Long jump and triple jump. And I'm a little bit perturbed. I do believe that the qualifying mark for these jumps should carry over into the final round. Why? To me, look as if the guys are jumping 2 finals in one. qualifying round is a final because there's not a mark that the top 8 persons should go over, or the top persons go over and they go into the final round. So they're literally jumping for their lives in the qualifying round. They can jump a world record in the qualifying round and go into the finals and can't duplicate it to come fourth. But if that jump is carried forward, you have the option to continue jumping or someone tries to beat your jump, regardless. Case in point, or your own, Hubert, and it's not the first time that's happened. Biggest jump in the qualifiers, going to the finals, can't repeat it because of an injury. It's unfortunate, but things do happen. You can't compare it to a 100-meter because with the hundreds, with the sprints, with the track events, you're running for placing and not for time generally. So you're running the top 4 for the heats, going to the semifinals. Same thing for the 400s. When you're in the semifinals, you don't necessarily have to run fast. You just need to finish in the top 2. Case in point, Sha'Carri. She finished 3rd. She was one of the slowest runners for the 100-meter, fastest loser.
She had the 3rd fastest time going into the final, although she came 3rd.
She was one of the...
She still ran 10.8, which is quicker than
most of the persons in the field. But the case in point is that she didn't have to go as fast. She just need to make it within a qualifying time. With the jumps, you have to jump for your life. You have to go out there and produce in the qualifier.
Mark. Once you go over the mark, you can just call it a day and pack up.
But if someone beats you, it's 3 jumps, 3 jumps in the qualifiers,
Yeah.
And I can go over that mark and somebody beat me. I'm forced to go again, And I'm forced to go again.
Once you go over the mark, you pack
I
up the thing.
think you have a mark. If the mark is 17, 16.5 for the triple jump and 6 for the final for the long jump. I believe once you go over that mark, you're going directly into the finals. Your mark is carried over. That marker is carried over, just like the high jump.
So you're saying you can win the event from the qualifying round?
Once you go over the qualifying mark.
So you saying you carry over that mark, and if that mark still holds up as the best jump of the tournament, you should get going.
Yeah.
So you can just win from qualifying round.
You can once somebody don't pass the mark.
So why not apply that in sprints where, hey, I'm just going to run the fastest time ever. That's why jumps is not just who jump. You have to go through the rounds and produce jump after jump after jump. So
but again, with the sprints, the rules in the sprints are different.
Why is it different? I mean, why should it be different?
They are running for placings, not necessarily for time. With the jumps, they have to jump a distance. And that distance, everyone has to jump that distance.
But if you can't jump the distance,
you have to jump your life.
You still have to have a winner.
Out.
You have to have a winner. See, I'm just saying.
But what I'm saying is long jump.
Final is a final.
2 finals in one. No. Basically, the qualifying one is a final,
But if I play Peter in, say, for example, a quarterfinals, I may lose. But if I play Peter in a finals, I ain't losing.
Because I still make it to the quarters.
But I'm just saying.
Table tennis is a difference.
No, but I'm just saying. You have to go through the rounds and...
But there's only 2 rounds in the jumps. For example, look at the high jump.
You can't possibly win it from the qualifying mark. You have to go into the finals.
Look at the high jump. You have a marker that you have to go to in the high jump.
Yeah.
And once you can't reach or you can't clear that mark, you're out. Yeah. The top 8 goes over and they start at that point for the final round. You don't have that. Everything is scratched in a long and triple jump. And then you have to start all over again, jump all over again, and do everything all over again.
Wayne Pinnock could have won the long jump. He jumped the world leading mark with 8.54
in the qualifying
and 8.521 in the finals, but he couldn't replicate that mark in the finals.
And I'm saying, why not carry over that mark since you're having them?
But the sprints, Oblique Seville ran a PB, sprints and if he ran that in the finals, he would have gotten a medal, a silver medal. Yeah, some people do good. There's nobody watching.
Sprints are different. As I say, it's placings are going for, not jumps, not distance.
Yeah. So
again, it's placing for the sprints. For the track events, it's always placing. They're running for places until they get to the final.
You're running to win. If I run 10-2, I win the race.
I'm not going to exert, but I'm not going to run a roller card.
Even so, there are different factors in qualifying. Like, supposed to win was different than when I jumped versus you jumped.
I am more forced to jump a roller card jump in a long jump and triple jump rather than run a roller card in a 100-meter heat.
Everybody have to line up in a final, and that's when you produce it. You can't. The finals is the actual thing. You get into the finals, and that's when you start competing. Some people hold back. Why should I jump out to the pit in qualifying mark when I can easy, and then in the finals now, I know that, all
But
right,
with the
this is enough to win. I can do enough to win.
But with
But I am thinking about, oh, that guy jumped that in the qualifying round. No, I'm have to jump it now in the finals. It's all about pressure. It's all about pressure.
But you
and competition and measuring, just like in the 4x4, when, so for instance, we ran a faster time in the qualifying. Femke Bull timed that race to perfection. And if it was a 50-meter lead, she'd have run different and run her down and still pass her because she is that athlete where she knows what it takes and produces on the day. Not every day you can produce your best. So if today I jump 8.54 and the finals is tomorrow, in my mind, I'm like, yo, the finals is tomorrow. I can't jump 8.44 in the finals because the finals brings a different pressure. Whereas the Greek guy know that, hey, final jump, cometh the hour, cometh the man. Him step up to the plate, I'm like, hey. Yeah, and him jump 8.52 because that was required. If Pinnock jump 8.6, the youth would have jump 8.61 because he must say, all right.
That's a champion.
That is a champion.
Yeah, I agree.
And then that's how you become and you push against competition.
But I'm not saying that they shouldn't jump.
What's your take?
What I'm saying, I am saying, jumps in the qualifying round rather than reduce, have this whole 2 finals in one. Carry over that jump into the final round, and these guys basically the same thing with throws.
Okay.
So you can just win from the qualifying mark.
You still have to. You still have to throw in the final round. You know. You still
And
have
some
to jump
people,
in the final
some
round.
people perform better with less pressure.
Yeah.
So nobody in the stadium, oh, I throw it out of the
My
park.
reason because they're having 2 finals in one. Basically 2 finals
Your
in
take
one.
is that get rid of qualifying and have one big finals.
Get rid of.
Okay, all right.
No, not get rid of the qualifying. You know, have a marker.
He said you
that
can win
each-
from the qualifying round.
Have a mark rather than have the athletes exert themselves in the qualifying round. Probably run a jump a row lead and not be able to reproduce it in the
So
finals.
whose fault is that?
Have a marker. Anyone that passes that marker after those 3 jumps, they qualify for the finals, and then they can exert themselves in that final.
From National Stadium.
So if it's 7 meters and I jump 7.02, and I jump 7.01, and the last person jumps 7 exactly on the qualifying mark, and it's 13 persons for the finals, all 13 go to the finals, all jump. Don't reduce the field from 20 to 8.
Do they reduce the field though?
Yeah, the field is reduced. For triple and long jump. Even high jump, the field is reduced.
Say the qualifying mark is 8:20, and all 18 of them jump 8:20.
All 18 go to the final.
That's what happened now.
Yeah. And then the best 8,
That's what happened now.
and then after the first 3 jumps, after the first 3 jumps, the top 8 have 3 additional jumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once you it could be all 50 of them reach the qualifying mark.
Yeah, them go in the
All
finals.
50 go in the final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the finals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after 3 jumps, the top 8 get 3 more jumps.
But on your take, Froggy,
You can't win from the qualifying round.
I don't subscribe to it.
No, you can't win from the qualifying
You
round.
have to have
Because
you have to have a heat.
it is not winning. Winning doesn't have a time or a distance.
You don't have to
Winning has a performance.
The medal goes to the winner of the final.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Performance.
It's performance. It doesn't matter the time. It doesn't matter the distance. Winning is winning.
We start at 0.
I could have run 12 seconds. I am the world champion because I beat you on the day. Not yesterday, not how we did before.
So why not
in
do
the
that?
finals?
Why not do the same for the high jump?
for 49.
On the day. On the day. Once you perform on the best.
No, they start where they end in the high jump.
No.
That's an obstacle you're clearing.
No, you mean in the qualifying rounds, the bar
Where
set at about 2 meters.
Mm.
And
But you can-
0.5 for the men, about that 2 meters, run about.
No, 220.
But, yeah.
So
220.
wherever they end in the qualifying round,
222,
that's where they
220,
start.
Or 228, they start way up.
Yeah, that's where they start in the,
About
wherever they end in
228.
this qualifying round, that's where they start for the finals.
They carry X and O
No.
forward.
No, the failures don't qualify, but the height is remain the same.
It's a fan.
The height remains the same. Wherever they end the qualifying round in the high jump, the height is what they carry over into. But no fit that is wiped off. But for the jumps, it's starting back at 0. And I'm saying, why not just leave the qualifying mark and allow someone else to try
It's
and
a
break
new
that
day.
qualifying.
It's a new day. It's a new event.
No,
It's a new day.
The high jump is no. I don't.
Just
I
like
don't
what I said, why not carry forward your performance from the national championships?
You're telling me if you're the qualifiers, if they jump 740, them start the bar at 740. in the
High jump?
Yeah. No, they don't.
185. Yeah, they started back at here.
If you jump, if something, no, they don't.
It's the top 8 to clear the highest mark, you know.
At the top 8.
Yeah.
And then you're telling me that
They started right there
It says 2 meters 40. Them start at 2 meters 40 in
for the finals.
I have to go and research that.
They don't
either
start
which
back
way-
from 0 and come back up. They're not going to reverse. It's a bar. They can't reverse the height.
No, Peter. What I'm saying, when you have the finals, I'm not sure that the bar it remains at the height.
Yeah, wherever.
Jumper qualified
Yes,
from.
that is where it stays.
Because if the bar is moved for the group, so that's why it has to stay.
Once you clear
You're telling
two.
me that the bar cannot go down. When the finals come out now, the 8 man them come out for the finals. You're telling me so the bar can't move down?
No, it can't move down.
So they keep the bar 2 meters 40.
No, but the thing is, when you qualify for high jump, once you go over the height, you're automatically in the finals.
Yes, that's
So once you jump, if you jump 228, for example, and I said 10 man jump 228, all of them move on to the finals.
Yeah, that's what
And then the next day, you're not going to start at 224. They're going to start it back at 230. Hey, let's go. Go 230. Go higher, higher, higher. Yeah, higher. But even so, what we are focusing on is time, distance, all those measurements, which has nothing to do with winning. Winning is I beat you. No matter what, it's just performance. So it doesn't matter if I jump this today, I jumped that yesterday. Today, 8 we going to match up, and it's who win. So it don't matter what you do yesterday.
I'm going to listen to your tape.
So it don't matter what you do yesterday or the day before.
I definitely don't subscribe
No,
to
it
that
doesn't
one.
matter what you do yesterday or the day before. Come today and beat me today. Because guess what? Them say today are the finals. I'm going to show you, say, hey, if you take this to beat you, I'm going to use this to beat you.
But that's my fragging 5.
That's your Friday,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that was froggy. Yeah,
all
but
right. So I want to touch back a little on the track and field. So we'll just start about Sharika, that 200. We have to discuss our 200 meter performance. We have about 2 minutes to discuss.
21:41
Yes, 21:41. She's some
PB.
She's still thousands of 7,000 of
The record is 21:34.
34.
She's getting closer. She said she has 3 races left in the season. She just ran on.
Disappointed after the race, though.
She said she wrote 21:40 in her bid. She said she wrote 21:40 in her bid. That's the time that she expected to run.
That's what I
You know,
predicted too.
21:40. But I mean, with a
After running 3 rounds at 100.
after running 3 runs at 100, 3 runs of the 200. I mean, wear legs. Still 21:41 is probably the fastest time ever. Same way.
Yeah.
Because when you look at it, plus no win again.
Yeah,
I mean,
had win when she set that record.
So, I mean, 21:41 is no short of.
I think
Great.
A 1.5 meter
We just want to show break record because of whole tail.
It's not a headwind, I mean a tailwind. A 1.5 tailwind should probably go what? 21:30.
We just want her to break record because we want to raise Flojo's record.
We go to Mexico City and make her run the curve.
Yeah.
Mexico, Flojo,
No,
America.
yeah.
The fast track.
Yeah.
Same thing. No,
think they're going Eugene next.
31.
We've got research where she did that, but even so, 21:41 is fast.
Yeah, man.
That is probably the fastest 200 meter ever ran, and I still think she can go faster. She knows she can go faster. 21:3 is on the cards. She wants to close out the season running that, but even so, her performance at the championships, I mean, 21:41. That she's a 200 meter runner. She is everybody was looking forward to the 100, but
She had a 1.2 meters per second tailwind.
tail who?
Tailwind.
Flojo, yeah. And I think Sharika had
0.
next to 0.
Yeah, 0.
So the stadium was somewhat still. So if she had a tailwind to push her even further, definitely that would have been 21:3 and closer to the mark. So with ideal conditions, a faster track, some track faster than some.
Yeah.
21:34, 21:33 is on the cards because I definitely think she can break record. But I mean, gold medal, big performance, 21:41. But we just want that record.
Yeah.
They just leave a little thing because we know she's going to win. So we're just looking forward to more. But yet still we have to bigger up and going out there and delivering and getting that gold medal. One of the 3 gold medals in the championship.
Really quick, back to Noah. Can Noah break the 200 record?
No.
1919 looking.
Yeah, can Noah...
He has to improve his 100 meter speed.
The quick
He has to get into the 9.6 region, and he's only running 9.8. So if he can improve his speed, he's still young. I think he's 25.
Yeah, about that.
But this is in his prime years, so between 25 and 28, This is the winner. And 1919 is.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
Michael Johnson's best 100-meter, Kane.
1903.
But Michael Johnson in 1932.
I'm asking what
100?
was his
It's 100?
meter. What is his 100 meter?
He wasn't that quick
I
over
mean, or he could probably run a sub 10.
sub 10.
Barely.
Barely, yeah.
Right, so why does Noah Lyles have to run better than he can run?
Because we're talking about Bo's record.
Noah
Not,
Lyles' top end speed is way better than Michael Johnson as well.
yeah.
So Noah Lyles will break Bo's record.
I don't see that
1919
happening.
is no joke.
Bolt was time up at the end of that record, you know?
But if you break down 1919, you know, split that in two.
has never ran in an tailwind.
Yeah.
None of his records is in no assist at all. Michael Johnson had assist when aided, was when aided.
Yeah, 1932, I'm sure.
1990, both has never run.
You're saying that Michael Johnson had a tailwind in his world record?
1932, more than likely.
It's the fastest track ever.
1932, Atlanta, 1996 Olympics.
Had to have I'm telling you.
But even so,
Fastest track ever.
but even so, why we call him Michael Johnson? The big man we talk about, you know. One big man, you know. And you can't compare Michael Johnson. Bolt is 1919 and a joke thing. If Noah Lyles do that in foot, good pop off.
Yeah.
But yet still, 1931, even so, look at it.
In Oregon.
1931 is Noah Lyles PB. Yeah. How close is 1931 to 1919? You think it's close?
No.
It is not close.
It's not close. It's not.
So he has, it's a good distance. So for him to run 0.13 seconds faster than you have ever run in your life, in any event, whether it's 100, 200, even 400, 0.13
fast,
more on your PB is levels. Can he do it? I think he can get closer. I think he can run 19.2 before we can even say touch on the 1919. And even so, I know Bolt can run faster than 1919.
I know that for sure. You know that I think in Beijing, the 200 meter that Bolt ran was in a negative.
And then again, Bolt run it after
running 3 rounds at 100.
100 and 200. You see that man normal.
And let me tell you that Beijing Olympics, you had 4 rounds in it. You know, you had 4 rounds.
Yeah.
It's not 3.
4.
It's 4 rounds.
Yeah, 4 runs in the 200?
And 100.
In the 100.
And 100, yeah.
Yes, it was
Olympics is 4 rounds. World Championships is 3 rounds.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 4 rounds.
Right.
After doing 4
I don't think.
rounds.
Why would they say no one else will not break that record?
So
It's
that's
tough.
8 races.
So which record do you think is harder to break? No, the 100 or 200 Bolt record?
The 100 is absolutely the one that's out there.
Easier to break?
Harder.
Harder to break.
Of course.
Yeah, than the 90.
The 100 is
The 958.
is something special.
Yeah.
And Peter promised me Glenn Mills, because I have a big question for them, I noticed both used to start.
He's not back yet.
No.
Not back yet.
No, but the thing is, if we get Glenn Mills, will you be in studio? Because, I mean, you'll be in studio. Yeah, that's gonna be. You're worried about Glenn Mills. I'm worried if you're back full time now. So, so it's glad to have you back. Glad to have you back. Yeah.
Because I noticed both. You never noticed. I was watching. I'm say how both start got worse as it did the event.
Yeah, you used to start and swing from left to right.
He used to start good. He was
Swag
always
out,
leading.
and then him start to start upright.
And then the last 5 to 6 years, him struggling out to the blocks. You know, he's supposed to get better as you get more experience for the event. But
It's a back problem.
His body, his back, his scoliosis got worse.
Got worse as it got.
You could see.
Okay.
His head was bubbling out, kind of thing.
So,
But Peter said no one can break the record.
No, man, that's it.
I mean, I think the 200 meter record is the easier one to break. I agree with you.
I believe that.
Can Noah Lyles break it?
Both should have run 19-0 or something.
But even so, you have to look at the young kids even coming up. Knighton and Tiboga.
I don't think
Knighton and Tiboga going to be fast too.
Tiboga is explosive enough. I just don't see.
Wait till him get more muscle.
He's more smooth. He's
Tiboga
very
and
smooth.
Knighton are the same kind of sprint.
They're not explosive.
They don't have the
Like
raw
grip.
top end explosion.
Like
They
Noah.
don't have it.
Noah have that. And Tyson Gay had it too.
Yeah.
They don't have that little bite in the turf like
The
Ilian.
digging up.
Yeah. The Digina, yeah. I like that term.
Wait,
the
I should
Digina.
pull it out.
Yeah, pull it out. Yeah, but
Yeah, that's true. But
and even some with Flojo record too. You think that can be broken? 100,
100 can be broken.
wow, the 100 is very
10.49.
No, it can be broken.
I think I was taught in Ilian and Touch the Switch camp.
I don't think it's possible.
No, it can be broken.
I was
Elaine,
told
10-5-4?
I think Elaine
10-4.
could have gone a little bit closer. Remember, so she don't have no tailwind in a piece.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
Elaine can get, but
DL, you're counting on external factors.
Yeah, we have to look at
But
it.
it was
We have to
extra-
look at it in
Yeah,
a bubble.
And that will
Ideal conditions.
if she running in Oregon with a tailwind like what all of them records
Yeah.
set
Even
in.
do like the Americans now and reverse the track sometimes when they bring
Yeah,
suit.
yeah.
I don't know about that.
But we have to break them record, you know. We definitely want those records. As the nation we are with all these top sprinters that we have, it's just fitting that we have
Is it the
all
nation we are or the nation we used to be?
we still no,
Nation
man,
that we have always been.
What?
Better days are still
Once a champ, always a champ, man.
better days ahead of us.
Yeah, man. But
Better
some
days
bit.
in terms of track and field.
Yeah, man. All even the hurdles.
Yeah,
Hurdles.
I have a take on that. You know. I think Jamaica is changing. I think the country is changing.
Changing for the better or worse.
It's changing for the worse in terms of physical ability.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I think there's too many cars in Jamaica now, and I think all those people from the rural areas, if you use them legs and walk more, I think everybody's gonna be
They do say,
sitting.
I think the wrong man doing sports commentary.
I think that it's gonna get worse.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you say Jamaicans are sitting more.
Like the older athletes.
Of course,
like
Bert
Dibbs
Cameron.
and Mo Young. Those athletes were made of better material.
I can say the generation around the table and in the studio here, yes. Of course, I do agree. Where's the
No, but we have a feeder system, you know. Champs will always be champs.
True.
And the kids want to
But
run.
I'm suspecting
And
that.
technique and coaching, we have that.
Yeah, that is true. So we have the resources for that.
So not so for track and field, but the other sports.
Yeah,
and
not
daily
so much
life.
for track and
Not
field,
so much for track and field, but other
I'm
sports.
still a little bit worried about the environment that's happening now in our country.
Kids are less flexible, don't have
they're
much
sitting down
coordination.
for 23 hours of the day.
On
They're not
gadgets.
using them legs and getting driven everywhere to and from school. You know, there's less walking. So I think with less walking and
Become
and
lazy.
less, not only that, the mental side will get to develop as well. So I believe that we're going in the wrong
Backwards.
direction.
So we need to ban cars then.
No, not
Importation
ban
of cars.
We need to understand.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
What makes a good athlete good? You know, it's the early stages. You know, your lungs can't expand past a certain age. So if you don't practice to run from an early age, even if you try to practice at 20 years old, you'll not be able to hold in that amount of oxygen to give you that mileage around
Sound
the
like
track.
Dr. Param.
No, but it's true. You know about you learned this in school.
Yeah.
So it's similar, the same thing. I think we have to
Pullman
understand.
on the chest.
We have to understand for Kane now. I look at Kane all the time, you know, right? Kane is a good example.
Go
Kane
ahead.
started to improve when Kane started to walk the camp.
I see.
Yes. When Kane started to walk more.
Garfield Jones used
I'm
to
telling
walk
you.
long distance.
I used to always walk though.
No, well, you start to improve more when you started to find your way places. And,
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's
I have more
point
time
that
I
I'm
tell you.
making. That's my point. You think
But I always had it in me
you'd
still.
have gotten,
Had
you'd have been a
coordination.
champion if you're them drop you right at the gate and pick you up and drop you everywhere.
No,
You think you'd have been a champion?
No.
That's my point that I'm making.
No.
Name some names of kids who are mollycoddled. Name some names.
All the kids are mollycoddled right now.
Even the kids you're coaching now.
Everybody.
Okay.
So
The
they're
whole
a set of
system.
pampered
Athletes.
No, let me explain what is happening. Kingston and St. Andrew is a center of everything, of our sport. Let's talk about our sport. The environment is a little bit volatile. It's the crime and violence is high, so the parents won't allow kids to be out. That's
more.
understandable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't have your cake and eat it.
Yeah.
You understand? So you have to know what makes a great athlete. You have to know what you have to do in the early stages. And the early stages is that they have to be more independent. They have to use their bodies more. You have to go outside and play like a dandy shandy, stocky, hopscotch. All of these things build coordination, builds that
Mental.
anticipation, joy. All of them picking apple, picking mango. You used to pick mango.
Woolly pan
climb
mango,
tree.
man. Yeah, man.
These are the things.
I
that
don't think
produces
Peter used to do
good
those things,
athletes.
do you?
Walking barefooted, as simple as it sounds.
Peter, you like he was money calling you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know that walking barefooted at an early stage is very important too.
Yeah.
It create balance because when you put on a shoes, it restricts the natural growth of your foot.
Even though I still walk barefoot. People say, oh, what you doing walking? Yeah, because I walk barefoot.
So when you wear them narrow church shoes,
Yeah.
you force you to put your foot on the toe point, so and you're growing, you tend to squeeze up. It prevents your foot from spreading out the real way for balance.
Yeah,
You think the same thing is true of underwear?
Possibly. But moving on from that, but my point is, I think we're descending. We're not ascending. We're not going up. We're going down.
Yeah. So the talent pool will be less, and even some.
You see it. It's gonna be less.
It's gonna be tough. Yeah.
It's gonna be less and less, and in generally most sport, especially sport that require learning a skill.
Yeah.
Track and field is more natural. So sport that learning a skill is gonna be a challenge for us here because we don't have the resources and
using equipment.
Our kids are losing their talents. I'm not saying they don't have talent; they lose it because they don't use it when they're young.
It's still there, but they need to be more.
Yes.
More flexible.
Yes. Look at Sandra Ritting. I look at Sandra, and Sandra, I think if Sandra pick up a racket tomorrow, she beat off the whole country.
Yeah. Just with doing this.
Sophia Verga, all of them, but their lifestyle coming up it was so much different than now. It was more natural.
Yeah. You see Sandra play it?
Sandra was a what?
Balance. Yes, Sandra play it, balance both sides.
Yes.
I'm like,
And the last
even up to this day, I'm sure if you take a park it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
When Mr. Sandra loop over, I say, what?
Yeah, man. I tell you, I remember growing up on Sierra play. I'm like, huh? I'm like, yeah. And then, yeah, man.
Yeah, but let us move on because I know the show is very short.
Yeah.
All right, we have the US Open to talk about.
Yeah.
I
said Peter wanted our picks in the US Open. I'm going with Alcaraz.
Really? You know that Alcaraz have a tough little, well, it's a harder draw though. I think it's harder.
Hard for Hard for the people that go and play.
I mean, he's going to get
tennis people. I tell you, tennis people are mentally weak.
You don't think
Medvedev?
No, not
Rublev?
What's his name?
Sinner?
No, Zverev.
Oh, weak.
I think he's going to play him in the quarters.
Weak. Sissipas knockout weak. Medvedev not so bad, but most of these guys are mentally weak, if you ask me.
So you think Alcaraz?
Male and female side. There's a few, separate themselves, and I see where Alcaraz look like him separate himself from the pack, where he mentally strong. But these guys, you name them, Rublev, Zverev, Medvedev, not Medvedev. I mean, I've been telling Sissipas.
So there's no youngster apart from Alcaraz out there that have that fight.
I mean, Tiafoe don't look bad. Yeah, but Tiafoe.
What happened to Alice? He just disappeared.
Yeah.
Last year, was saying he was going to be the next
Canadian. Yeah, that's yeah, but tennis players to me, they come good one. They're inconsistent.
Yeah.
Most of these they're inconsistent. I mean, I thought Rude to me, I thought coming up he'd be good. Rude and Rune. I like Rune as well, but I mean, yet still them have to step up to the plate. We're all right. Constant semi-finalist, quarterfinal, but what's he supposed to lose early round? When you big player lose, come on, man. Stand up class, man. But I always tell you, I'm not a bit past.
Anybody know Tommy Paul? I think.
Tommy Paul, yeah.
What about that guy there?
Yeah, but yeah, still, yeah.
So, I think he's in Novak half. No challenge to Novak.
No,
I mean, but we know Novak like to play with him food when he's ready. Yeah.
So Tiafoe, and Tommy Paul is the two known names that I think left in that.
I mean, I'll reserve my comments more something for next week when the draw is down to the well. Precisely, that's when we know Danny's going to be back. I mean, it's just who going to filter out, because if two weak players going to play against each other, one of them must win.
Yeah.
Until them buck up on the big man, which is Novak.
So everybody
and then, I mean, Novak, yeah.
Well, I'm going.
Yeah.
Is that good for tennis, though?
Yeah. On the female side,
but a storyline.
On the female side, no.
With tennis, you always have the big men reaching the finals.
Yeah, but you have a top four, yeah.
Djokovic is 24, the young boy.
Yeah. It has its storyline,
you know. It has a storyline. So yeah. So what about the females now?
No clue. As
it is wide open.
As Peter said, no clue.
Swiatek is more fragile this year than before.
Yeah.
Zverev is very
all of those.
Sabalenka is two, right? Yeah, I think so. Jabor is going to play Sabalenka.
Yeah,
I'm going with the African.
And Wozniacki coming back?
Jan Zierberg. Yeah, Tunisia. I said, should I
The
Africa?
American girl, that was a Pulga, what's her name?
golf.
I can't remember her name, but I think she playing. I've been watching her a little bit. She playing alright.
Coca Golf's time to step up, but
Yeah, Coca.
league, I mean, as I
wide
said, if you
open
have
for
two
the
weak
women's
players
side.
playing against each other, one must win.
Wait, so the whole female side is weak. It's open.
I mean,
just
in
open.
comparison to what we're used to,
Yeah.
we usually have a lot of battles on the female side, but now the names
It's
just kind of
open.
just.
It's open. They're all basically on a little level.
Ashley Barty retired.
Hey,
Osaka retired
we-
early. They're all out of the game.
We expected rivals. We like to see rivalries. You name the rivalry in females tennis. There's no rivalry, and that's what the thing that
They leave a
that
gap.
brews sports. Yeah, so
they leave a gap.
we want, even if the quality isn't that high as in the past, yet still we need rivalries, and there's no rivalries as this tournament is that person, next tournament is that. We need to see rivalries, whether it's the tagline where it's the Williams sisters versus Justine Henin or Den, or get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maria Sharapova, which to me was overrated, but yet still,
Yeah, you're
something.
right,
Yeah,
because I don't watch as much female tennis as
again,
I used to watch.
I used to look forward to the female tennis more than the male tennis, but now. So it's not a knock on the girls. We just want to see rivals and them step up to the plate. So
I know the show is coming to an end, but before the show leaves, Peter's favorite coach selected his team again for the two Nations League.
Grimmy. What call it? Grimmy or grimy?
Close up football
Grim.
guys.
Yeah.
1 minute, guys.
1
Come,
minute.
come.
So Reggae Boys will play National Stadium September 8th versus Honduras,
and
and
then
September
Haiti.
12th against Haiti. And to me, this is a big test for Coach Grimmy, which
Another
I'm
test.
siding with Peter because the time is brewing. I always said give him time. And after, I will just play Gold Cup. Now come Nations League. We need to see more because we need more attacking output. We need more goals. We need to see more of a system. And I think him get enough time now. Him pick a good squad. So
See young
we'll
Cephas
see.
in
We'll
the
see
squad.
next week. Friday we'll play Honduras, and next week we'll break that down further. I mean, hopefully the primal team will get exclusive tickets. And the country boss need to work on that, so we'll be in the stadium. Yeah. So
The Grim.
we'll definitely be in the stadium to watch that match. So next week we'll break it down further. And I mean, US Open coming up next week. Schoolboy football is coming around the corner because school start back. So I mean, more Diamond League coming up, more races to be run. So hey,
Yes.
yeah,
Well, guys, is we come to the end of another great show.
yeah, time flies.
Yeah, we want to thank our guest, the Gen Sec of Tennis Jamaica, Joseph Dibbs,
Yeah.
for coming on, and also track and field commentator and analyst Hubert Lawrence. Thanks also to our listeners and viewers on Fit FM 96.7 over there in Trelawney, the Primal 4K app, Facebook, YouTube. I want to thank you guys. This is your host Dale.
And I'm Kane the Sharp Watson.
Have a good
Only
evening,
one
and,
prime.
Only one prime
So
goes.
guys, have a good evening, and
Up next is DJ
DJ
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi
Yeah.
in the G spot.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh, geez.
All right,
Saka,
guys.
Saka.
Same
Saka,
place,
Saka.
same time. See you.
Yeah, Molly Cuddle. That's the word of the day, Molly Cuddle. So one love from the Primal Sports X, we're out.